Tomorrow, recovering to 52 with mostly sunny skies. That's your weather update from the Storm Center.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for starting your day with the Greg Belfrage Show. It's nice to have you here. All right, wheels up, my friend.
News Talk 1320, 107.9, and Kello.com. A doctor of discernment is on the air.
I love the Greg Belfrage Show.
I've been listening to you for years, Greg. Thanks for all you do and keeping us informed.
You sound a little taller on radio.
Dispensing a daily dose of common sense, no prescription required.
Americans love
I can never get this mic in just the right place.
Play to win all the time. I don't believe in a no-win scenario.
This is
Good morning, my friend. The marketplace of ideas is open. It's Wednesday, November 13th, and welcome to the Greg Belfrage Show. This is just a shocker. Donald Trump making a statement and saying he has nominated Pete Hegseth. Those of you who have been viewers of Fox News know Pete Hegseth. He has been on Fox News Channel for the last 10 years. What you may not know, and Donald Trump talked about this, that Pete spent his entire life as a warrior for the troops and for the country. Pete is tough, smart, and a true believer in America first. Trump says, with Pete at the helm, America's enemies are on notice. Our military will be great again, and America will never back down. And then Trump, in the announcement, also talks about the background of Pete Hegseth, and he says Pete is a graduate of Princeton University, has a graduate degree from Harvard University. He is an Army combat veteran who did tours in Guantanamo Bay, Iraq, and Afghanistan. For his actions on the battlefield, he was decorated with 2 Bronze Stars, as well as a combat infantryman's badge. I had no idea. Seriously, I feel like I'm just getting to know Pete Hegseth. Trump says Pete has been a host at Fox News for 8 years, where he used that platform to fight for our military and veterans. And then he talks about Pete's a recent book, The War on Warriors. Spent 9 weeks on the New York Times bestsellers list, including 2 weeks at number 1. The book reveals the left-wing betrayal of our warriors and how we must return our military to meritocracy, lethality, accountability, and excellence. Pete has also led 2 veterans advocacy organizations leading the fight for our warriors and our great veterans. Nobody fights harder for the troops, and Pete will be a courageous and patriotic champion of our peace through strength policy. So it's Pete Hegseth of Fox News, a name that certainly a face, I think, that's very familiar to many viewers of Fox News Channel. And what's amazing is the left is melting down. The left is just absolutely melting down. You get this selection of Hegseth. Oh, is it wrong that I enjoy watching these media, the left-wing meltdowns that are occurring just like one after another? They're just so free. It's just absolutely incredible. And so Senator Elizabeth Warren sent out a tweet insinuating that Hegseth never served, which is just absolutely unbelievable. What's amazing to me is that fact that Elizabeth Warren is in the U.S. Senate. That's what's amazing to me. The just inane stuff that comes out of her mouth is just par for the course. So Pete Hegseth for Secretary of Defense, and New York Post, a number of photos of Hegseth and Trump, together. Fox News also commented on this. Pete Hegseth has been an exceptional host on Fox and Friends and Fox Nation. And by the way, he's done. He gave his notice yesterday and with this announcement. So you'll no longer see him on Fox News as a host. But Fox News said not only has he been an exceptional host on Fox and Friends and Fox Nation, and a best-selling author for Fox News books for nearly a decade. His insights and analysis, especially about the military, resonated deeply with our viewers and made the program the major success that it is today. We're extremely proud of his work at Fox News. Wish him the best of luck in Washington. So that is the reaction from Fox News. Hegseth is a native of Minnesota. I didn't realize this. Originally from Minnesota. Received 2 Bronze Stars for his service overseas, as well as 2 Army Commendation Medals. Can you imagine that? So the Hegseth has also served as the head of Concerned Veterans for America. It's a conservative nonprofit advocacy group. And then I mentioned his book also, The War on Warriors. Donald Trump mentioned that when he announced it. The just pretty incredible. So that is and one of the things that Hegseth is expected to do is, and there's a story at the Wall Street Journal about this, that the transition team for Donald Trump is reviewing an executive order. It's a draft order at this point, obviously. It would establish a warrior board of former generals and non-commissioned officers with the power to review 3- and 4-star generals and recommend their removal. In other words, they're taking aim at the woke generals, that because that's been an issue for Donald Trump. He has promised that he would get the woke generals out of the military. And it's among the things that he has talked about. That's big news this morning. Also, we got Donald Trump doing what he said he would do. And he announced last night that Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy will lead up this new government efficiency department. And Trump said, together, these 2 wonderful Americans will pave the way for my administration to dismantle government bureaucracy, slash excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies, essential to the Save America movement. So this was a statement Trump made last night. So it'll be Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy leading this new government accountability department. And Trump said to drive this kind of drastic change, because Elon Musk had said he could cut $2 trillion. You'll remember that. This was in the late days of the campaign. Elon Musk saying he thought that he would be able to trim $2 trillion from the federal budget. And so Trump says to drive that kind of drastic change, the Department of Government Efficiency will provide advice and guidance from outside of government and will partner with the White House and Office of Management and Budget to drive large-scale structural reform and create an entrepreneurial approach to government never seen before, Trump said. Wow. See, so that also is big news. this morning, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, leading Trump's Department of Government Efficiency. He has, there's a great piece at The Hill where they go through the list of all of Donald Trump's nominations, as well as his, some of these are staff appointments. Others are nominations to the cabinet, which would require Senate approval. And we have talked about some of these we have not. But for instance, like Marco Rubio, we talked about that as Secretary of State. He would need to be confirmed. Lee Zeldin as the head of the Environmental Protection Agency would also need to be confirmed. Elise Stefanik, Governor Kristi Noem then as Homeland Security Secretary. There's some very interesting stories in the state of South Dakota, as this was big news then to folks in the state, as you can imagine. So what's going to happen here statewide and I fully expect the governor would be nominated by the Senate. Among others that you may not have heard, I just mentioned Pete Hegseth at length, Donald Trump's choice to lead the Department of Defense. Mike Huckabee, former governor of Arkansas, was selected for a big diplomatic role in the Middle East. He'll be the ambassador to Israel. So Huckabee, and my understanding is Israel is accepting this he's been a big supporter of Israel, very vocal about it. And Israel is really, receptive to the name of Mike Huckabee. So he's never held the diplomatic post before, but he has weighed in on the war in Gaza. Told News Nation he didn't see a reason to support an Israel-Hamas ceasefire. Said the only way to end the war would be to eradicate Hamas. So it's easy to understand that why Israel was glad to hear that Mike Huckabee was chosen. Also, John Ratcliffe has been selected to lead the CIA. Now, you remember the name of John Ratcliffe. He previously had been a congressman from Texas. And he has also, served Donald Trump before. And so Radcliffe served as Trump's principal intelligence advisor during his first presidential term, now has been picked to serve as the director of the Central Intelligence Agency. So it's John Ratcliffe that Trump will be naming to head the CIA. So Ratcliffe is one of several appointees who has been announced in the past week. Trump, in a statement, said of Ratcliffe, from exposing fake Russian collusion as a Clinton campaign, operation, to catching the FBI's abuse of civil liberties at the FISA court, John Ratcliffe has always been a warrior for truth and honesty with the American public. When 51 intelligence officials were lying about Hunter Biden's laptop, there was one, John Ratcliffe, telling the truth to the American people. So it'll be John Ratcliffe that Trump is selecting to head the Central Intelligence Agency. Some of the others, we talked about Tom Homan as border czar. Again, that's another appointment that does not need any Senate confirmation. Susie Wiles, who will be Donald Trump's chief of staff, a name I think she really had been. What's amazing is I think many of us didn't know who she was until she was named as Donald Trump's chief of staff. because she had not been seen. It was all about, she was helping Donald Trump and his team and his campaign, and she was somebody really standing in the background. And the woman is just absolutely incredible. The more you learn about her. Also, Stephen Miller, who was one of Trump's closest advisors during his first term. He will be a deputy chief of staff for policy. Mike Waltz, we've talked about, as national security advisor. Bill McGinley will return to the White House under Trump, being the White House counsel. So McGinley was cabinet secretary during Trump's first administration. He's also served as general counsel at the National Republican Senatorial Committee. So you just look, and now, I mentioned Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy. The Department of Government Efficiency is just absolutely incredible watching Donald Trump build this team. Other stories today, the incoming Senate Republican Conference will be meeting to hold their secret ballot elections for leadership positions. That'll take place this morning. And they will be choosing the next Senate Majority Leader. And there are three who have thrown their hat in the ring. Of course, Senator John Thune, Senator John Cornyn of Texas, and Rick Scott of Florida have all been contenders. So that'll take place today. And we'll learn more about this and again, it's a secret ballot. So we talked about, we visited with Iowa Senator Joni Ernst about this yesterday. And I asked her, are you out there campaigning for anyone in particular? And she said, no, I'm not, nor am I going to be telling everybody how I vote. The vote is a secret ballot, and it'll be made in private, and I respect that. So also there's a piece at Fox News this morning, and this is already over in the House of Republicans. Oh no, here we go again. Some of the House of Republicans are not happy with the way things are going, so there's already infighting now. They've not even gavelled into a new session yet, and there's already infighting going on, according to Fox News. This is a piece. 3 sources told Fox that members of the conservative House Freedom Caucus were exploring ways to show their discontent. Oh, really? Seriously, are we already at that point? Wow. And this is, that's the House of Representatives, unfortunately. You got people coming together so they're unhappy with House Republican leaders during the, they're making the decision about who should be then the Speaker of the House, whether Mike Johnson is up to the task, so on. And I'm like, really? Are we already at that point? We're what, a week after the election, and it's already starting. Oh, so a lot of reaction in South Dakota. We talked about this yesterday and got your thoughts about Governor Kristi Noem. She took to social media last night confirming that Donald Trump has indeed offered her the post of Secretary for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, and released a statement, said, "I'm honored and humbled that President Donald J. Trump has selected me to be the Secretary of Homeland Security. I look forward to working with border czar Tom Homan to make America safe again. With Donald Trump, we will see, and she put safe in capital letters. With Donald Trump, we will secure the border and restore safety to American communities so families will again have the opportunity to pursue the American dream. So she posted it below an official release coming from a spokesperson for the Carolyn Levitt is still the spokesman for Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, at least at this point, and Trump apparently said Christie has been very strong on border security. She was the first governor to send National Guard soldiers to help Texas fight the Biden border crisis, and they were sent a total of 8 times, Trump said. She will work closely with border czar Tom Homan to secure the border and will guarantee that our American homeland is secure from our adversaries. And Trump said, I've known Christie for years and have worked with her on a wide variety of projects. She will be a great part of our mission to make America safe again, Trump said. So there's a lot of reaction to this. Keloland TV has a very interesting piece at keloland.com with the reaction from folks in state then, and some state lawmakers then responding to that news, which was pretty monumental yesterday, and now it's official. And that's a look at the big stories this morning. Thanks so much for starting your day with the Greg Belfrage Show. We've had some light rain, cloudy skies, 44, and you're listening to Kello.
Weekday mornings at 9. Kello News Talk 1320 107.9.
The Kello Hotline is brought to you by Tires. See in-store details about how to get rebates from major tire manufacturers. 2 Sioux Falls locations to serve you.
I remember a time when Kyle and I were in our teens working for our dad in the summer, and we had one of those heavy rains, and we had to go through all these basements and tear out sheetrock from one basement to another, multiple days in a row, from 6 in the morning till 6 at night, with the heat and the water and the humidity.
Lots of trending stories this morning, too. There's just a lot of news going on this morning.
Jerry Bird, who founded Intech Cleaning and Restoration. Intech has grown over the years from one location in Sioux Falls to now 3 locations in Brookings, Yankton, and Sioux Falls. One of the most common misconceptions about Intech is people don't know we do all the things we do. Some people don't know we do carpet cleaning, some don't know we do duct cleaning, fire restoration, water restoration, attic extraction, construction cleaning. To help you remember about everything we do, when you need a clean, call the Intech team. If you ever have a fire or water disaster, call the Masters of Disasters, Intech.
You think our country's going in the right direction, or does it feel like everything's falling apart? If you're a bit concerned, you're not alone. In fact, Americans from all walks of life take action to prepare for whatever's coming next. And that starts with having an emergency food supply. Storing food in your home is the right thing to do, because we're living in crazy times, which explains why so many people are preparing. Right now, you can get ready too with a 3-month emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply. It comes with delicious foods like creamy stroganoff, honey wheat bread, and mushroom rice pilaf, all offering over 2,000 calories every day. Their food kit lasts up to 25 years. Who knows what our country will look like then? But when that day comes, you'll be ready. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com now to order your 3-month emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now.
Occasional showers in the Sioux Falls area today. Our high temperature up to 48. South winds at 5 to 15, switching to the northwest for the afternoon at 10 to 15. For tonight, some clearing skies, low temperature at 34. Tomorrow, a pretty nice day, mostly sunny conditions with a high at 50.
And in Sioux Falls at 6:30, we've had some light rain, cloudy skies, 44. Joe Bowman is in the Kello.com News Center this morning. Coming up, the Sioux Falls City Council is deliberating on an ordinance prohibiting oversized vehicles from parking downtown on Phillips Avenue. So Joe will have details on that story and a lot more for you coming up here in moments. You're listening to the Greg Belfrage Show on Kello.
After months of trading jabs, President Biden will host President-elect Donald Trump at the White House.
Tradition requires that both men let bygones be bygones for the sake of so-called peaceful transfer of power. Recall the last time President-elect Trump was in this situation, he vigorously challenged the outcome of the election, refused to concede.
Fox's Kevin Cork and the president-elect's cabinet continues to take shape.
Overnight, Trump announcing that Pete Hegseth, the best-selling author, the combat veteran, and co-host of Fox and Friends Weekend, will lead the Department of Defense. Former Director of National Intelligence John Ratcliffe is heading back to the government. He's Trump's pick for CIA Director.
That's Fox's Mark Meredith. And on Capitol Hill, Senate Republicans will hold a vote on the upper chamber's new leadership. Senators Scott, Thune, Cornyn, all competing for Mitch McConnell's job. America's listening to Fox News.
News brought to you by Sioux Falls Implant and Sedation Dentistry. They fix your teeth while you sleep.
Kello News Time, 6:31. I'm Joe Bowman in the Kello.com News Center. Now it's official. President-elect Trump has announced last night that South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem will be his choice for Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. If Noem is confirmed by the Republican Senate, she'll oversee several federal agencies, including ICE, Customs and Border Protection, FEMA, and the Secret Service. The Sioux Falls City Council is deliberating on an ordinance prohibiting oversized vehicles from parking downtown on Phillips Avenue. It would make the 142 parking spots between 9th and 13th Streets off limits for larger pickup trucks and SUVs. The proposal comes from folks having to veer over the yellow line to avoid hitting larger parked vehicles. A proposed aquatics bond to fund new pools and recreational facilities in Sioux Falls has been delayed several times this year. City Council Chair Kurt Sale says it's time to move forward, but he wants some limits.
Tell me what the total amount is going to be, and whether it be 35 to build, demolition, financing fees. Tell me what that's going to be. I would prefer the bond to specifically limit how much they can spend on each facility.
The aquatics bond has varied in size from a high of $77 million to $68 million. The difference in $9 million that was transferred from reserve funds was to purchase the Sanford Fitness Center on the city's west side. Public Works Director Mike Cotter says that money is needed for road maintenance on Minnesota Avenue. Councilor Sale says the city should tighten its belt and find another way to pay for the road work. And in sports, it was a rough evening in basketball. Last night, the Coyotes dropped the ball against the Iowa Hawkeyes 71-96. The Skyforce lost to the Iowa Wolves 106-97 in their home opener at the Sanford Pentagon. And the Timberwolves got pummeled by the Portland Trail Blazers 122-108. From the Kello.com News Center, I'm Joe Bowman.
The news never stops. Kello News Talk 1320 107.9.
Cloudy skies and areas of showers today. Our high temperature at 48 with a south wind at 5 to 15, becoming northwest this afternoon. For the overnight, partly cloudy skies expected. Our low temperature at 34. Tomorrow, recovering to 52 with mostly sunny skies. That's your weather update from the Storm Center at KEVOLAND TV. I'm meteorologist Brian Karstens.
The radio station you're listening to now is Kello. Our addresses are AM 1320, FM 105.1, and worldwide at Kello.com.
If you bought a Barbie doll as a holiday gift, check the box right away, especially if yours is tied to the new movie, Wicked. I'm Kim Commando for NetSuite. Download the CFO's Guide to AI and Machine Learning for free at netsuite.com/Kim. Mattel just pulled off the most unimaginable, outrageous goof up ever. 21 years ago, Wicked opened on Broadway. It was a smash hit. So this week, Wicked from Universal Pictures opened on hundreds of screens across the country. So far, so good. But then came Mattel with 4 versions of Barbie, one for each of the 4 witches. And there's the problem. On the box, Mattel printed a website address that should have read wickedmovie.com, the movie's official site. Instead, Mattel printed a web address for a porn site. Wicked, porn, get it? Now, most stores say they remove the offending boxes. Still, I'd check before Santa leaves it under the tree. There's still time for you to win a brand new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence. Enter now at winfromkim.com. What does the future hold for business? Ask 9 experts and you'll get 10 answers. Rates rising or falling, inflation being up or down. Can someone please invent a crystal ball? Until then, over 40,000 businesses have future-proofed their business with NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud ERP, bringing accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR into one fluid platform. With one unified business management suite, there's one source of truth, giving you the visibility and control you need to make quick decisions. With real-time insights and forecasting, you're peering into the future with actionable data. When you're closing the books in days, not weeks, you're spending less time looking backwards and more time on what's next. If I had needed this product, it's exactly what I would use. And speaking of opportunity, you can now download the CFO's Guide to AI Machine Learning at netsuite.com/Kim. This guide is free to you right now at netsuite.com/Kim. netsuite.com/Kim.
The Kim Commando Show, live Saturday mornings at 9. Kello News Talk 1320 107.9.
The Kello Hotline is brought to you by Tires, your Give You More tire and automotive store. Financing programs available, 2 Sioux Falls locations to serve you.
Leaves are falling. Get your gutters cleaned and replace this fall and get ahead of the predicted wet, heavy snow with ABC Seamless. Voted local best 20 years in a row. They'd like to thank Sioux Falls. Call today. ABC Seamless. Stock up on delicious quality meats from Renner Corner Meats. Fresh beef, pork, and boneless, skinless chicken breasts are always ready to pick up. They're now taking deer, antelope, and elk for processing. And try their famous homemade real beef jerky. Renner Corner Meats in Renner and rennercorner.com.
Hey, a quick word from my friends at Washington Crossing. If you are looking for a welcoming, comfortable place to call home, Washington Crossing has units that'll be opening soon. They've got a number of units that'll be opening up here between in the course of the next month and a half. And so this is a perfect time for you to discover a community that is designed with you very much in mind. Washington Crossing has spacious living options, daily activities, and the food at Washington Crossing is great, made by the chef at Washington Crossing. It's really, I think you will enjoy life there because the folks there are just terrific. So if you're interested in maintaining an active lifestyle, or you just want a peaceful setting with support available when you need it, Washington Crossing makes it very easy to live your way. So now's your chance to experience a setting where you've got staff available 24/7, and which provides a lot of peace of mind both for you and your family. So don't wait. Call 605-271-9273. Give them a call today. Schedule a personal tour and learn more about the available units at Washington Crossing. That's 605-271-9273. Discover why so many people are calling Washington Crossing home. Washington Crossing, life made simple.
Some mornings you might not have that get up and go.
Ooh, but at least you can get up and know.
The Greg Belfrage Show with insightful opinions on the latest stories.
Okay.
It'll get you in the know while you're getting ready to go. Kello News Talk 13.
.39. Again, we've had some light rain this morning. Cloudy skies. 44. You're listening to the Greg Belfrage Show here on Kello. Hey, we want to congratulate D. Heeb, John Decker, is it Etheim, I think. Forgive me if I mispronounce your last name, John. They all won tickets to see Jim Brickman at the Washington Pavilion this Sunday. So they entered online as we asked you to do. So congratulations to them as well as others who have picked up tickets. Not too late for you to get your tickets if you would like to go and see Jim Brickman. You'll find more information and you can buy your tickets at washingtonpavilion.org. This hour of the Greg Belfrage Show brought to you by the Window Shop of Mitchell, offering custom windows starting at $99 a month.
What's trending now?
Add them on Facebook.
Let the tweeting begin. The hashtag does that. News and views from Belf's News Gallery.
Well, Donald Trump has nominated Pete Hegseth of Fox News to serve in his cabinet as the Secretary of Defense. And Trump said Pete has spent his entire life as a warrior for the troops and for the country. Pete is tough, smart, and a true believer in American first, Trump said. So Hegseth's last day at Fox was yesterday. So he's done at Fox. He started as a contributor in 2014, and then he was named co-host of Fox and Friends Weekend in 2017. He began co-hosting the show on a regular basis in 2016. And so his career, it's just exploded at Fox. Fox News wishing him well. They called him an exceptional host. That's pretty high praise. I mean, seriously, because there are some pretty incredible folks at Fox News Channel, I think. So they said he's been an exceptional host on Fox and Friends and Fox Nation, best-selling author for Fox News books. They said his insights and analysis, especially about the military, resonated deeply with our viewers, made the program the major success that it is today. We're extremely proud of his work at Fox News and wish him the best of luck in Washington. It's pretty high praise coming from your employer. Also, Donald Trump has selected John Ratcliffe to head up the CIA. So Ratcliffe has previously served as Director of National Intelligence. Ratcliffe also criticized Biden's Middle East policy, advocated for a tougher stance on China. So Donald Trump said yesterday that he had chosen Ratcliffe, and he said, I look forward to John being the first person ever to serve in both of our nation's highest intelligence positions. He will be a fearless fighter for the constitutional rights of all Americans while ensuring the highest levels of national security and peace through strength, Trump said. So John Ratcliffe is Trump's nominee to head the CIA. Also, Donald Trump has nominated Mike Huckabee as U.S. ambassador to Israel. And Huckabee has been a strong supporter of Israel. And the latest now in a growing list of people that we see will be in the next Trump administration who support Israel. So Trump has promised to strengthen U.S. ties with Israel as it is fighting wars against Hamas and Hezbollah. And Trump said of Huckabee, he said, Mike has been a great public servant, governor, and leader in faith for many years. He loves Israel and the people of Israel, and likewise, the people of Israel love him. Mike will work tirelessly to bring about peace in the Middle East, he said. And Sarah Huckabee Sanders reacting to this news. She said she was unbelievably proud to learn that her father had been nominated to serve in the Trump administration. And she said on X, I went to Israel for the first time with my dad when I was 11, and it changed my life. There was no one President Trump could have picked with a greater love for the Israeli people and commitment to the unbreakable bond between America and Israel than him. So it's some exciting choices here, I think, in Donald Trump's cabinet and appointments. Also, Senator John Fetterman is reacting to the news that Senator Marco Rubio would be Donald Trump's next Secretary of State. And Senator Fetterman said on X, he said, unsurprisingly, the other team's pick will have political differences than my own, he said. That being said, my colleague, Marco Rubio, is a strong choice, and I look forward to voting for his confirmation. So we got Democratic Senator John Fetterman saying he will definitely support Marco Rubio and vote for him as Secretary of State. So with Marco Rubio, then, should he become Secretary of State, what will that mean? Senator Tom Cotton is expected to become the next chairman of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence after Marco Rubio has been appointed here. So the final decision on committee leadership will be made by the Republican leader, but Fox News has a piece that it likely will be Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton, who I like. I mean, and that would be good news. So as you've got strong leaders who are rising up, other strong leaders filling that vacuum. It remains to be seen, but pretty incredible. Also, Donald Trump has announced that Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy will lead the Department of Government Accountability. And Trump released a statement announcing this. And so Trump said it will become potentially the Manhattan Project of our time, he said. So the department will provide advice and guidance from outside of government and will partner with the White House and Office of Management and Budget to drive large-scale structural reform, which would be amazing to see, would it not? Large-scale structural reform in the federal government, incredible. I don't want to get my hopes up too high. Do you find yourself in that? I mean, I'm really, really excited about where we're at moving forward. Absolutely. And the things that we see taking place. But it's like, Eli, I hope for great things, but I don't want to get my hopes too high because the government is disappointed me. Federal government now disappointed us time and time and time again. Also, there are stories that are trending about Donald Trump moving Space Command. This is different from Space Force. There has been a years-long dispute about whether the headquarters should be in Colorado or Alabama. Donald Trump favored it in Alabama. Joe Biden wanted it in Colorado, and that's where Space Command was placed. Donald Trump now apparently saying he would move Space Command out of Colorado in his first week. Also, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. This is a story that's trending this morning, but he made the comments over the weekend. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said Saturday the incoming Trump administration should act fast to implement massive changes at the National Institutes of Health. Now, he wants to replace as many as 600 people. And so he said, we need to act fast. We want to have those people in place on January 20th so that on January 21st, 600 people are going to walk into offices at National Institutes of Health, and 600 people are going to leave, he said. So he made this comment at an event in Arizona. So what role Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will actually play, remains to be seen. We'll see. The National Institutes of Health, of course, rose to, I think, everyday conversation because of Dr. Anthony Fauci and COVID and what was going on at the National Institutes of Health. So I love hearing Robert F. Kennedy Jr. saying 600 people will walk in and then walk out. In other words, you're fired, will walk out. But that's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Why he's saying that, I'm not entirely sure. Also, former First Lady Melania Trump will not be joining her husband for a White House meeting with the president today. So CNN said the reason was a scheduling conflict related to her new memoir. And so there are a number of different, but apparently Melania Trump will not be joining Donald J. Trump when he has a White House meeting with President Joe Biden and the First Lady today. Also, and now as we move off into other news, Donald Trump, so much of the news is related to Donald Trump and these appointments and reaction, I think. As we talk about Donald Trump, this last story, a judge has postponed a decision. There was supposed to be a hearing this week, then Donald Trump's hush money conviction. So it's prosecutors who want apparently more time. So there was supposed to be a decision then this week. And the sentencing was supposed to be this week, but now it's been set for November 26th. And prosecutors say they're reassessing. They appear open to the possibility that the proceedings cannot go as planned. So the assistant district attorney wrote in an email to the court, these are unprecedented circumstances. He said, so what happens? I don't know. I just don't think you can predict it. Expect the unexpected, my friend. Elon Musk has seen his net worth surpass $300 billion for the first time in almost 3 years because shares of Tesla went through the roof. Shares of Tesla were soaring based on bets that his close ties with Donald Trump will wind up helping the company. Also trending this morning, you remember Jack Teixeira, the Massachusetts Air National Guard member who pled guilty. He leaked military documents. They were highly classified military documents about the war in Ukraine, and he did it on a gaming website. Well, he was sentenced yesterday to 15 years in prison. And he showed no visible reaction as he was sentenced yesterday. So 15 years in prison for Jack Teixeira. Other stories that are trending this morning. Denzel Washington dropped the bombshell that he's planning to retire from the big screen soon. But not before he was out. I think he was speaking in Australia to their Today Show, and he was promoting Gladiator 2, and he let it slip that there will be an unspecified role for him in the next Black Panther film. And so This is not, the third film has not been announced or confirmed by Marvel yet. And then he discussed his plans in Hollywood. Washington said, at this point in my career, I'm only interested in working with the best. I don't know how many more films I will make. Probably not that many. I want to do things that I haven't done, said Denzel Washington. Also, you'll remember the man who was accused of murdering Laken Riley. He has waived his right to a trial by jury and is instead requesting a bench trial before a judge. And the judge wanted to make sure that, remember, it's an illegal immigrant who had killed Laken Riley. And the judge wanted to make sure that he understood the decision he was making. He, speaking through a translator, said, do you have any questions about your decision to waive jury trial? And he said, the judge wanted to make sure that he understood he can't change his mind. Do you understand that if I grant this request, it cannot be revoked going forward? And he said, yes, Your Honor. So there'll be no jury trial for him. It'll just be a trial before the judge. Also, mass demonstrators who were wearing Nazi gear protested against an Anne Frank stage show in Michigan over the weekend. This is just crazy. So the demonstrators protested against you remember the story of Anne Frank, the Jewish girl, kept the detailed diary of her experiences. And there have been a number of stage shows regarding Anne Frank. So these mass demonstrators wearing Nazi gear, Nazi flags, so on, were there. It's really kind of shocking. And that's a look at the stories that are trending this morning in Belf's News Gallery. This hour of the Greg Belfrage Show brought to you by the Window Shop of Mitchell, offering custom windows starting at $99 a month.
Receiving Kello at 107.9.
Thank you so much for letting me join you this morning. Please return at 9:30 this morning for the fourth hour, which is a little bit more relaxed than the radio show. But thanks so much for being here. Hope to see you again.